Hello everyone, and welcome back to Linda's Libations. Now we're in the month of August, and the full moon for August is at the end of this month, and it's the Sturgeon moon. And it's called the Sturgeon moon because of the Lake Sturgeon in the Great Lakes and Lake Champlain. And this is the time of the year when they ran plentifully and were easy to fish. Nowadays, there's not so many left, but in the olden days, plenty of fish. So the native peoples would do their fishing and stock up for the winter. So I am going to do the full Sturgeon moon cocktail, part of my full moon series. As you can tell, I have the moony stuff and fishy stuff this month. So we're going to start with our shaker that we are going to put some ice in our shaker. Easier to do it like this. Since I'm the one that's going to be drinking this, I don't mind my hands. And then we're going to start off with an ounce of Tito's vodka. Now the reason I'm using Tito's is that this moon is also known as the corn moon, and because the corn harvest is at this time. So Tito's vodka is made from corn. So we're going to do an ounce of vodka. Let's make that an ounce and a half. I've still been messing around with this one a little bit. And then we're going to add an ounce of limoncello. Now this limoncello is my homemade limoncello, and I make my limoncello a little bit different. So it's not going to taste the same as the limoncello in the store because I use the whole lemon. I use not just the rind, I also use the juice. So when I peel my lemons and soak them in the vodka or Everclear, which is a grain alcohol, and this is also a grain moon, so that goes perfectly. But I juice the lemons and I freeze the juice, and then when I go to make the simple syrup that I'm going to mix with my lemon infused vodka, I use lemon juice and sugar and add any water that I might need. And then I'm gonna punch up that lemon flavor even more with 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And then I'm going to also add 1/2 ounce of Chambord, because it's also a time when berries are still being picked. So 1/2 ounce of Chambord. And then just a scant 1/2 ounce of honey syrup. And I'm going to give her a good shake, get her nice and icy cold. Because I like my cocktails cold. And then, of course, since this is a full moon video, I have my full moon. And this one, I froze in there some Swedish fish. Now, mind you, I tried this the other day and let it melt, and the fish that are in there, not tasting so good, but because they kind of start to dissolve. And then I'm going to pour the cocktail over it. Now, because you know how I like my stars in the sky, this time I have a red glitter to go with my Swedish fish, and I'm going to just put some on top. And then, because this is the sturgeon moon, although these aren't sturgeons, I've got some Swedish fish that I'm going to swim in my cocktail. And then the best part, I made some salt foam, and we're going to top the cocktail with some salt foam. Now, to make your salt foam, you want to take 4 ounces of water, 2 ounces of lime juice, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and also 1.5 teaspoons of sucrose. And zhoosh it up with an immersion blender. Works really good. That's what I used. And then this foam will form on top. And then I'm going to sprinkle, because one must have the stars. And here is your sturgeon moon cocktail. Oh, that's so good. Nice and lemony, the hint of raspberry, and that salt foam on the top. I'm really loving the salt foam thing, because it's not like getting whole chunks of salt that I always get stuck in my throat and things like that. It just gives that little saltiness that brings out the flavors. This is so good. I hope you try my full sturgeon moon cocktail.